Back to Otter Pop Culture, and we're gonna go over RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars Season 4. And there's a lot to go on, so let's get right into it. I'm gonna go through, kind of recap everything, and then also talk about my opinion on it and what I thought about it. So, first of all, the Super Queen intro was really, really cool. I thought it kind of reminded me of, the whole art pop, or the pop art, and the whole thing was really cool. I think it was much more easier to do. It was much more fast paced than it was when they did the last All Stars 3, when it was just the talking of Alaska and Chad Michaels. I felt like it was cute, but I felt like it dragged a little bit. Plus that I felt like that theme had nothing to do with anything. So hopefully the Super Queens have something to do with something with this season, since the Handmaiden thing had nothing to do with anything. So first up, the first person that comes out is Monique Hart from season 10. Which I'm happy that she gets another chance. I think that she was one of my favorites from season 10, so I was happy to see her. She looked great. She looked much more polished. The next one was Trinity Taylor, or hashtag Trinity Tuck. Trinity the Tuck. She came out from a body bag, and she looked great. I actually don't really remember her because she was from season 9, and I watched maybe the first or second episode, and I kind of just drifted away. I thought it was kind of just boring. And then the next person is Naomi Smalls, and Naomi Smalls was one of my favorites in season 8? She was top 3. She didn't get top 3, and she looked great. And I wasn't really sure about her when I was watching it in the beginning, because I felt like everybody else had much more unique look, but she kind of was like the dark horse of it, because she just kept rising and rising, and she looked great, and every look was very polished perfectly. And then the next person that came up was Monet Exchange from season 10, which is, I was happy to see that. I was happy and not happy to see it. Well, no, I think her wig was really nice. I felt like it looked better than their other longer wigs. And remember from season 10 that she always got, every time she wore a longer wig, that she always ends up being on the bottom. But this one looked really good. Even she didn't wear her pussycat wig, so that was good. The next person is Gia Gunn from season 6, and it's actually funny that she's on this, because she was the conversation for a while, because people had an issue, some people had an issue with the fact that there was a transgendered person on the RuPaul's Drag Race, even though we literally had one before and no one really complained. So it was great to see her again, and of course she's shady and bitchy as usual. And she also had the what was it? She also is post-op, so she's all woman now, and she seemed very happy about that. The next person is Pheromone from season 9, which is another season. Once again, I didn't really watch. But I did remember her because she popped up in a lot of plates. She popped up from last season because she looked very like Christina Aguilera. So, which is, I don't remember, from what I got from them kind of placing her back, was that she was pretty much the whiner of the thing. So she kind of embraced that, which is I personally immediately thought was going to be something it's going to be a little annoying, but we'll see. Next person is Jasmine Matthews from season 7, I was happy to see her. She's always been somebody that's very fun to watch, and it seems like since she's got eliminated, she's been doing a lot of things like Vine and videos and that, talking about fun, life observing funny things. So apparently it did well enough, and she came back. I personally haven't watched. I watched maybe a couple of videos, but I thought she was doing okay, so it's great to see her. Valentina from season 9. I don't once again didn't see season 9, but I remember her because she was the one. She was a lot of talk came around her because she was the one that didn't want to take off her mask, and because she didn't want to take off her mask, she got she did finally, and she got eliminated anyway because she didn't know the words during her lip sync. But she looked fucking amazing. She kind of gave me some real like Ariana Grande, Dangerous Woman, little like rabbit ears, and she looked really cute. And then so they came out, and then finally RuPaul came out and brought out Latrice Royale and Manila Luzon, who both were on All Stars 1. So they brought them back, which I'm so glad that they brought them back because I felt like they had a unfair chance. They got eliminated, I want to say, within like the third episode or a second episode, and it wasn't really fair because it's just like because they had to work in teams, and that wasn't really what I felt like. It wasn't really fair. So I'm glad they actually get a second chance, and they all were were my favorites of All Stars 1. So that was really good. So they're now a part of the contest, the competition. So I'm really excited for them. They look fucking gorgeous as usual. They look even better than they looked like before, and and I'm sure like everybody was like the other contestants were like freaking out because they are definitely a group to be reckoned with. So, and then so we move on. So the first mini challenge was the reading challenge. And so we started off with Gia Gunn. The highlights of it was Gia Gunn. Like she basically we got a glimpse of what kind of person she was. Like immediately, like we were like, oh yeah, that's right, she's shady. She's just a complete bitch. Like, you know, in the best way. Like I personally think after the whole Vixen thing, I feel like hers were just like, it's just as flat out, but I feel like it's not coming from any type of like, there's no personal attack that she's coming from. I think she's just a bitchy queen. But she called Farrah unoriginal and untalented, and that was just like, ooh. And there was no punchline at all. Just like, you're unoriginal and untalented. And Farrah came back with her read, and just everything was completely flat. Like, I think they laughed to be nice, but she just failed completely. And then Latrice won the challenge, and she came for Valentina. She was like, I'd like you to take off your mask. Oh wait, it's your face. Your other face. Your other mask. And it was our other face. And so it's like kind of insinuating that she's two-faced, that's what it came off from what I've heard from season 9. Because I definitely watched the reunion. So there was that. So she won the mini challenge. And so we go into the workroom, and one of the things that they all start undressing and everything and getting to know people, and everything seems to go well for like a minute. But then Gia Gunn's like, who do you think is going to be the bottom? Who do you think is not going to make it through? And she says, and so because she said it first, they're like, well, you ask the question, you answer it first. So she answers it, and she's like, well, I don't think that Trinity or Farrah have the talent for it. And she just goes in for both of them. They're like, what? So from my thought is that she's definitely going to be the villain of the show. So, I'm not too upset about that. Like I'm interested to see what type of shady thing she's going to bring, because I don't think it's going to be anything intense like Vixen. So we're safe with that. So we go on to finally the talent show, the variety show. So which was performed in front of the LGBTQ veterans, which was really cool. So they start off with Monique, and Monique does a great job. It kind of reminds me of Shangela's opening for her season for All Star season 3, and she did an amazing job. And so did Monique Hart. It was a lip sync and dance, and she completely killed it. And then Naomi did her song. Oh, they both did their song, like Brown Cow. Stunning for Monique, and then Fashion for Naomi, which I felt like Naomi was actually, like, I felt like her looks were great. Like she could be a complete model and just do that and just work off of that, and she'll make shit tons of money. But I felt like it was a little posy in the beginning, which is I'm personally for, but for the competition of showing off your talents, I don't think posing is really something that's really that impressive. But and then she completely turns it around and she has a huge wig and she takes it off and like half of it comes off, and it's just like her with like bald in the top, and then the sides had like the hair. So it was pretty funny. So I was so relieved because I was like, I really like her. I hope that she really does well, and she actually did do okay. She did a good job, and definitely the wig saved her pretty much. Gia Gunn did her kabuki act, which was very beautiful and very unique and very different. So that's immediately safe. Or like so then, and she looked beautiful doing it. Trinity the Tuck did her tutorial of how to tuck, which is Gia Gunn gave her shit over it because she didn't think that was much of a talent. But I personally think she's fucking wrong because the tuck the tuck reveal at the end, there was like nothing. Like it looked like it was so flat, and I'm like, does she even have a dick? So it was so good. So there was that, and then Farrah comes out and she does her burlesque look, which is I kind of think it was based off of the fact that she looks like Christina Aguilera. So I bet she wanted to do that, which is she prepared for it and everything apparently, but she fell. And due to the fact that she fell, instead of kind of playing it off, she kind of looked very shaken. That she didn't look like she really had it together. So she kind of ended it and kind of walked off stage. She didn't really look like she was very proud of what she did. The next one was Monet, and she did her own song called Soak It Up. She started off singing live, and the falsetto was very shaky and very off. Like it was very pitchy, but she kept it going and she did a good job. And then we have Jasmine, who was the worst of it. She decided to do so let me break this down. So first of all, she wanted to do she's like, oh, I did Vine and all that stuff like that, so I should know what it's like to do comedy, so I can just add what I say back then, what I say to my Vines and videos, and just put it onto a stand-up, which is not the same thing. And Visage pointed that out too. It's just like, it's not the same thing. Just because that you have some things to say, it doesn't make it funny, doesn't make it anything like stand-up. So obviously she needs to do her research. So then we moved to Latrice, who did her flag waving, like color guard kind of thing, and it was really cool. Didn't know that she had that type of talent, but she did a great job. Valentina was the last one, and she did her lip sync, which I thought was really, really cool because we all know that she didn't know her song when she was lip syncing for her life, and here she goes. She ripped off a mask and then she just starts singing, and I was like, yes, or not singing. She starts lip singing and it's on spot. It's in Spanish. I wonder if maybe she didn't know the other language or other one because it wasn't something that she was used to listening to, because this was complete Spanish. So it made me wonder, it's like, oh, maybe she's just very good at lip syncing to Spanish. But we will see if she actually improved her lip syncing from then on. So we go to the judges table and they all judge them off and they all get their critiques, but in the end, Monique and Trinity win, which is rightfully so. And Farrah and Jasmine are end up in the bottom, which is rightfully so. So we're always starting with a good start with this season, with actually eliminating people and giving awards to people that actually deserve it. So we're doing really well. So in this type of thing, Monique and Trinity have to lip sync to see, and whoever wins, they choose who the bottom two, one of them gets to go home. So they do a little thing where they try to figure out what's going on talk to them and try to figure out who should go home. And of course, Farrah's crying her ass off about wanting to stay and everything, but we hear the crying and we know the crying is a thing. And so both Jasmine and Trinity's like, stop crying. If you're gonna be here, you gotta stop crying. And I think I agree. It's like, you can't just, your tears are gonna get old, so you need to start having some type of dignity and how you, and the way you do this, you know, I felt like. So of course, and then Jasmine was so weird. She wanted to be there. She didn't really care to be there. Like, it didn't really seem like it. So if you don't look like you're gonna be there, then they just Trinity won, of course, and she she eliminated Jasmine, and she went home which is rightfully so. During the lip sync, though, one thing I want to point out was that Monique Hart was dancing, and I think she tried to take off her wig, or she did a flip, she did like a hair flip, and it flew up into like the lights above, and just stuck there. And once again, the thing for me is that I do not like the fact that people take off their wigs, or drag queens take off wigs, because it's not a thing anymore. I think it was a trend back then in season 1 through 3, where it's like you're so passionate about the song that you take off your wig, but not a thing anymore. Now it's more of a, can you dance with your wig on? And she didn't. So Trinity did a good job, and she won, and she eliminated Jasmine, which is rightfully so. So that is the end. That is the first episode for season for the third season of All Stars. And so I'll be doing these videos every time a episode comes out, so I will be keeping you updated on it. Comment below my questions is, who do you think is gonna win? Who do you think is gonna get eliminated the next episode? And who are you rooting for, and why? So leave a comment below and tell me what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next recap.